Welcome to Shom Machshava Nadav, Shir sponsor Nishma Sam Yakushalom Leah Basitzchok. We're only Boabaso Dav Kuf Samechei. The more the top of Amudalav says, Omar Rav, Roi beGezel, Umiud be'Arayos, veHakol beLashon Harah. The Rashbam explains that most people are choshud on stealing, on Gezel. But the miut, the minority, is an Arayos. And Yimele, Hakol b'Lashon Harah means that everybody is Nichshal Lashon Harah, and as the Gemara explains, it means Avak Lashon Harah. The Maharal in the Chidush HaGodos, this is the last Chidush HaGodos of Masechet Bava Basra, he comes and explains, the idea is that Arayos, people are embarrassed to be Nichshal on Arayos. It's a Maisa Meguna. So that's why most people avoid being Nichshal on Arayos. But Gezel doesn't look so bad if someone, found some kind of a head there to steal. As the Rashbam explains that what it means, Roy beGezel, is that people find out, are you a setter? They say, yeah, this is fine, I can do this. It doesn't look so bad if someone was able to finagle some money. It doesn't look so bad as a Arayos. And Lashon Harah, says the Maharal, when a person says a good gossip about somebody else, he gets coveted. People say, oh look, this guy is an interesting person. They respect him. So it's not megun, it's the opposite of gnus. And the Maharal continues on, and towards the end of his words, he explains even more. He says, Arayos is a very physical action. It belongs to the guf. And that's why most people don't connect to it. But Gezel is not so physical. So there are people who feel more comfortable with it. Lashon Harah, which is not a ma'aseh at all, it's just a dibur, that people don't consider to be anything wrong. And that's what the Gemara means, Roi beGezel, miut be'Arayos, Hakol b'Lashon Harah. So according to the Maharal, the reason why miut be'Arayos is not that they're not interested in Arayos, it's just dover megun, it's not appropriate. And this connects well to explain Divrei Rambam, because the Rambam in Perek Chav Beis Misur Bil starts in Halacha Yud Ches and says, there's nothing in the Torah which is hard for most people, for the majority of people, to get away from. So the Rambam says clearly that the majority of people, it's hard for them to get away from Arayos. But then in the next halacha, the Rambam says, person who is interested in Gezel and Arayos, and he's attracted by it, every congregation, every group of people, there's always going to be some people that are parts of Arayos, and then it brings our Gemara, where so the Mefarshim should bring the question. The Rambam Malach Yud Ches seems to say that everybody is nichshal in Arayos. It's hard for the entire nation to do it. And then Allah Yud Ches, he says it's only a mute. So the Prisha in Eved Ezer Simon Chafei, he brings this question, and he brings two answers. His first answer is that what the Rambam says that it's kosher lifresh, is talking about prutzim b'Arayos. Meaning someone who's already sinning in Arayos, for him to get out of it is very hard. It's very hard to leave the Aveira. That's what the Rambam brings, that Am Yisrael was doing Arayos before Matan Torah, it was very hard for them to leave. But to start, to become a Baal Aveiro, that's only a mute. Meaning, what the Rambam says, the majority of people, it's hard to get away. Majority of the prutzim, it's hard to leave the Aveira they already have in their hand. But most people don't have this Aveira. But then the Prisha brings a second answer, and the second answer works with the Maharal. Second answer of the Prisha is that for the majority of people, it is a challenge. But although it's a challenge, they're still able to withhold the challenge and to be able to pass the challenge. And that's why only a mute or nichshal. It's difficult for all, but only in the minority are the ones that sin. And that's what the Maharal says, that people, it's not appropriate because it's so physical. That's why people are able to stop themselves. But it's still a challenge, and that's what the Rambam means. And so says the Chido in Pesach Enayim. Another thing the Prisha bring, Arayos, Lashon Harah, and Gezel, that's Rosh Tevois Egel. Egel, Ein Gimel Lamed. And the Sefer Oilos Ephraim, Mama Rish Aleph, he brings the same idea, that Egel is Rosh Tevois, Arayos, Gezel, and Lashon. And he says that in Ma'aseh Hegel, it says, Ve'yakumu letzachek. Chazal darshan that they did Gimel Averis Chamuros, Arayos, Shrichas Domim, and Avodah Zarah. So it says Zolos Ephraim, that's why it says letzachek, just say the Averis. Because they didn't do the actual Averis. They just did the things which are similar to the Averis, which our Gemara is referring to. Gezel keneged Shrichas Domim, Arayos keneged Arayos, and Lashon Harah keneged Avodah Zarah. And that's what it's brought down. Takash Baruch Hu told Moshe Rabbeinu that every generation has Avodah Hegel, which means these Averis are every generation, because every these Averis always exist. And we'll conclude with another pshat in the Gemara of the Iyun Yaakov. The Iyun Yaakov says, when it means Roi Begezel, it doesn't mean the majority of people Nichsha Begezel. But it means HaKadosh Baruch Hu will not punish people unless the majority of people are Begezel. As we saw in the Mabul that it says Mola or it's Chamos. It's only a minority doing Gezel, they won't be punished. But by Arayos, Miyutum Barayos, even if there's only a minority that are Nichshal in Arayos, they all will be punished. That's what's brought down. Zimri Zino v'noflu kama revovos b'Yisrael. A little bit of his nose causes a plague to all Klal Yisrael. And Lashon Harah and Mamash needs to be everybody Nichshal Lashon Harah in order to punish Am Yisrael for it. That's the pshat of the Iyun Yaakov. Anyone who wants to join the Shomach Shava email list to what's a go, please email shomachshava@gmail.com.